Edgar TV. How do there, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV, where today what I want to do is talk about the toughest challenge that I feel in my career so far. Now, when you speak about these things, a lot of people ask me, is it the World Championship? Is it winning a World Championship game? Was it a UK Open? Was it defending a tour card? Was it winning a tour card? Was it winning a challenge tour? Was it this? Was it that? Was it that? Actually, what happens is anyone you ask of this will have their own individual story that we have gone through, our own individual personal battles or demons. This is my story, my tale. So my tale starts back in 2014 when I played in the Grand Slam of Darts qualifiers. Now, the Grand Slam of Darts qualifiers back then was a wildcard system where 256 players came and took part. It wasn't just the tour card holders. I got all the way through to the final on that day. It was all or nothing. There's no runners-up prizes. There's no guarantees. There's no you get this for that round or this. It was you get in or you don't. And I got to the final game and I played Jamie Caven. And in this game, it wasn't that I played bad. It's that he played really, really well here. I lost 4-0. I had a couple of chances, a couple of shots at doubles, but I lost 4-0 in the final game. Zilch. Coming home with nothing. And I can tell you, coming home, driving home from Wigan, all the way home in rush hour traffic, because that was the time of day that we finished doing so, was one of the loneliest drives I've ever had in my life. It sucked. Yeah, weren't keen on that, didn't enjoy that. And this was in the days when I didn't quite have a car that I could speak through the speakers of. So, I couldn't even ring anyone. It was a very lonely sort of 5 to 6 hour drive. It sucked. It sucked. But it got worse. It got worse. Just a couple of weeks later, we played the World Championship qualifiers. Now, the World Championship qualifiers, this was for the 2015 World Championship. And again, I played really well all day. I got through some tough games. I mean, one game I was 4-1 down and I come back and won 5-4, so brilliant stuff there. I had a great game with Steve West in the semi-final for this. Took out, I think it was 150, then he took out 154, and then took out 100. Big finishers, big shots. It was a really, really good quality game. So I was playing really well on this day. Ended up losing in the final game of this to Jason Hogg. So Jason Hogg beat me 5-3, I believe it was. I think I had a chance to make it 4-4, just one dart. Then it'd been my throw, I believe. That's how I remember it anyway. It might be different, but I lost very close game. Came out of this one with the L. Now the thing about losing this game was I had a little bit of a comfort. That was that you got £1,000. But when you think about these two events combined, it was £1,000 just in cash. It didn't go on your rankings. It was just £1,000 in cash to me, and it was a bit of a consolation. But when you think about what I missed out on in terms of this, the ranking points, the exposure, everything that would have gone with these two events, and especially at that period of time for me, that would have been huge. So big disappointment there. Fast forward to 2020, just last year, and you'll find that in the Grand Slam of Darts qualifier this year, I lost in the final game to Simon Whitlock. Now this day was going quite well. I started off well. I played Jeffrey Diswan first, then I played Callan Ridds, both a good sort of mid-90 average games, and then I came up against Simon Whitlock, who had just had that run in the Grand Prix not too long beforehand. Now, Simon, we all know Simon, don't we? Great player. And I went 3-2 up on Simon. And I was looking solid. He was running low 80s. I was running mid 90s. It looked like I was going to win it. And then it just flipped. He went up. I came down a bit and he took it 5-3. Huge element of disappointment there. Didn't have long to rest on that though, guys, because as you know, with the PDC you don't get long. And actually we had the World Championship qualifiers a few weeks later. Got to the final again. This is the match that I am talking about. When people say, what is one of your best wins or what's one of the biggest wins? For me, the psychological side, the match versus Josh Payne. For these reasons, it all led to that moment. Obviously, this time as well, I needed to get in the World Championship. So the match versus Josh Payne set up what came at the World Championship, where I got that World Championship win this year against Kuyvenhoven, and obviously had that good match with Mensah Suljovic. All came from here. Now, I was playing well throughout the day. I was running again mid 90s. Josh was running high 90s, so I knew that I needed to up it a bit. I ran a lot of the match at 100 average, and I won it. Was it 7-1? It was quite a comfortable scoreline, so I played really well all the way through this, taking out the shots, big shots. I ended up with a midnight, I think 95, 96 average. So if you ever want to know what's the toughest challenge of my career, so far I'd say it's this, and I actually came through it for these reasons. So that's probably why this is the one I want to speak about, because I'm so proud of this one actually for these reasons, because actually that at that point when I lost those two, it makes you question, and you sort of question, like, do I, the disappointment was so strong that you even think, do I want to do this? So to come back and have this replicate the exact same situation years later and to come through it, I'd say that's one of the biggest achievements of beating one of the toughest challenges of my life. Have you been through anything, guys? Let me know in the comment section. Like I say, they don't always have to be the FA Cup final, the World Championship, the Champions League. Sometimes we have the biggest battles in our own minds, like I did. Let me know in the comment section, guys. I'd love to hear them. And I'll catch you soon for some more Edgar TV. Edgar TV.